So, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Interview Snippets Python series with Akansha Academy. So, in this series, as we have already discussed, that we are uh, letting you know all the important questions that you can expect in an interview. Okay, so this is another episode in which we are covering the list comprehension. So, most of the things which you can do in a loop and you just put a if else statement we can do with the help of list comprehension as well. Okay, so when we code, it becomes very easy for us to write the code. Also, the code becomes very understandable instead of writing a complete loop and then doing the if else and putting filter conditions. We can directly write a list comprehension which will be a single one liner and it will do the trick for you. Okay, so to understand this, we have the complete list comprehension structure in which we are explaining the each and every part. Like first is the expression. Okay, what we will get as an output. Then in the list comprehension, we have the for loop. Okay, for item in the list. Okay, where we are looping through, right? And then we can put the if condition. Okay, the filter clause, like optional filter based on which we need to get the values. Okay, so this is optional. Okay, we can put a filter or we can completely omit a filter if it is not required. Okay, if the use case has something to be filtered, we'll put the filter condition, or else we can completely ignore this part. But the expression and the looping through, it will be there. Okay, expression is basically the output. Okay, it can be item plus 2, it can be item square, or if it is a dictionary, we can have item key, item name, item value. Okay, all these things. Okay, so to help you understand better, we'll be using couple of questions, and by the end of this video, trust me guys, you will be completely clear on this topic, list comprehension, and you can bet that you will be using in that interview, or normally whenever you are coding, you will be using list comprehension. So it is a very difficult topic. Most of us, whenever we ask chat gpt or when we solve a question, okay, because we are beginners, we tend to ignore this topic, or somehow try to do this in a loop. Okay, or using a if else rather than doing this using a list comprehension. But trust me guys, after going through the entire video, you will be using list comprehension for your next puzzle, so python coding question. Okay, or in the interview as well, and the interviewer will be very impressed with your coding skills. So with that, let's not waste much of our time, and let's start with the first question. Okay, so in this question, what we are doing guys, find all even numbers from the list. Okay, so here I will just open a python console and will start solving the question. So let's suppose we have a list, and we will initialize this with the help of couple of numbers. Okay, it is 1 2 3 4 5 6. You can put anything in the list. Okay, so generally what we do, let's suppose we want to find only the even numbers, and we need to create either a list, or we can directly print the numbers or even numbers in the list. What we'll do, we will be initializing another list called a result list. Okay, and it will be an empty list. Now we'll loop through. For I in list, if I remainder 2 equates to 0, what we'll do in the we will be appending the value I, and at the very end we can directly print this. So this is a very simple coding problem, okay? And most of you, I hope that you are already aware of this, okay? And if you are aware of this, the coming section, like the list comprehension way of doing this, will completely amaze you, okay? Now we'll stress upon the structure which we have discussed earlier. So this is expression, okay? Then the looping through part and the optional filter, okay? So for now, you can just pay attention to what we are doing, okay? This is the output. So we want the output as x for x in list, okay? This is the looping part, x in list, like we are doing here for I in list, okay? So to keep it similar, let's make it I for an I, okay? Anyways, so I for I in list, if I remainder 2 equates to 0. And this gives us the same answer. So what we did, this is the loop part, okay? I is looping through the entire list, and if I value remainder like with respect to 2 is equal to 0, then we are basically getting the value I, okay? Let's suppose I want to have I plus 10. Okay, then basically what will happen, whatever value qualifies, the value of I which qualifies for this clause, we will be getting the value plus 10 as the output. Okay, so instead of 2, 4, 6, we'll be getting 12, 14, and 16. So this is the thing. And then further, like we can take any kind of example and it will fit, right? So I hope this part was very clear. We broke down the entire question into the core logic and then we implemented. Now, to make it further concrete or understandable, what we'll do will be like discussing a similar question, square of all elements in a list. Okay. So since we already have a list, let's not waste in creating another list. So we have a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what we want for any kind of list, we want the square of all the elements in the list. Okay. So basically what we can do for I in X, and since we do not like square of all elements in the list, so that's why the optional filter clause can be omitted here, and what we can print I into I, that is I square, right? Instead of X, it will be list, right? So this will give you the answer, guys. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and 36. So what we did basically, for whatever output we got, we kind of manipulated or like changed the value of return. Okay, earlier we were returning I. In this case, we are returning I square, right? So I hope this example further like clarifies the list comprehension for you guys. Now we'll be discussing a more realistic question which you can expect in a like medium difficulty interview. Okay, so like how we solve the problem in, if you are following Akansha Academy, we generally have three parts in solving any question. First is understanding the question, that is the most critical part. Okay, everything else will fall into place if we understand the question well, right? Second part is like developing a core idea or the skeletal code, okay, which we can use to finally implement the third and the final step, which is the actual Python implementation. So first understanding the question, okay, trying to develop a core idea to implement the solution, and then finally the final part is the actual implementation of the solution, right? So first we'll try to understand the question. Average, like what is the question is asking? Average marks from the list of dictionaries. Okay, so we have a list of dictionaries. See, this is the name and this is the value. This is the name and this complete list is the value. And we have a list of dictionaries. So there is one, two, three, and four dictionaries which we have. And mostly, like if we say in a core part, the dictionary has a similar structure. So first it has a name value pair, like name and the value is the actual name of the student. And second name value pair is marks, and then the marks for the subjects. And you can see there is variation in the number of subjects because like in college, if you have observed, we can take optional subjects or we can skip optional subjects as well. So we have marks for the optional subjects as well. Okay, now what we are required to do, using list comprehension, generate a list of student names whose average marks are above 75, right? So average mark should be greater than 75. For 3, it will be the sum of all the marks divided by 3. For 4 subjects, it will be sum of all the subject, like marks obtained in the subjects divided by 4. Similarly, for 5, it will be 5. Or in simple terms, we can see the length of this list. If we divide the sum of the elements of this list divided by the length of the list, it will give us the average marks, right? Okay. So let me do one thing, guys. Now we are done mostly. What we can do, we can loop through this student list, okay, and we'll be checking the average marks by the formula we just discussed, and we'll simply print the name, right? So let me initialize this list first. Okay, now we'll try to directly implement this using a list comprehension. So what we are doing, um, for S in students, we'll have a if statement so that we can filter out the students having average mark greater than 75. So if S of marks, and then what we need to do, sum of then the length of this list, okay, if it is greater than 75, then what we want S of name. And then since it is a list comprehension, the output would be a list. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are looping through all the elements in this list, like all the 4 names, Amit, Riya, John, and Kiran. And based on the average marks, which are greater than 75, which is here in this if statement, we are taking out the S of name, that is the name part. So we are printing just the name part, right? And we are name marks is not defined. Okay, there is a simple error we have got here, right? So whenever Replace the key, it should be within quotes, and which was left. Now we got the two students, that is Amit and John. So I hope you got this question, guys. Like if you go through the for loop and then doing the if else statement again, like it will give us the same answer. But if you can do it in one line, why to write three, 4 lines of extra code? Like writing extra code might result in like doing extra errors. So it's better to like wrap your code and use list comprehension. Okay. Like it is very efficient way of doing code, and maybe like it will help you during your interviews as well. So with this, like we have come to the end of this video, guys. If you stayed till this point, please like the video, subscribe to Akansha Academy, and share this video with everyone. Okay, so we'll be back with another episode of this interview series so that we can make your interview experience very good, very easy, and you'll be prepared, and your confidence will help you to get the job, guys. Best of luck and see you in the next video.